Buckingham Palace in London is the largest royal palace in the world. The area of the grounds is 20 hectares, 17 of which are gardens. As of the area of the building itself, it is 77,000 square meters. A few more numbers: £640,000 the cost of reconstruction of the palace at the time of Queen Victoria, 775 the number of rooms, of which 188 are for staff, 78 bathrooms, 52 rooms for guests, 92 are offices, 19 rooms available to visitors. Many rooms have not been renovated in over 60 years due to the desire of the royal family to preserve the original appearance of the palace as much as possible. The main dining room and great hall attract attention with the red silk on the walls and gold trim. The front dining room also contains a sumptuous table made of natural mahogany. It can accommodate 600 people at a time. When the room is prepared for dining and other events, the table is washed with a special mop. At that moment, one has to stand directly on the table. The interiors of the palace are beautiful because you can see almost any style of architecture here: English traditional, Baroque, Rococo. Anyone can find out if the queen is currently in her chambers or not with the help of flags. If a red and blue banner with gilding and symbols of the monarchy flies over the royal palace, it means Her Majesty is at home. If the national flag of the United Kingdom is seen flying over the palace, it means that the Queen has left the palace. And since the palace is only open to visitors for a couple of months of the year when Elizabeth is away, you will find the national flag when you take a tour at the palace. Visitors are first greeted by the monument to Queen Victoria in Palace Square, made of white marble and decorated in gilt. It cost the royal family £700,000. To be exact, about that much they had to give for the Carrara marble. It is said that when King George V saw the monument that honored his grandmother, he was so impressed and captivated by its beauty that he even made as a sculptor Thomas Broca a knight. Passing through the palace gate, guests enter the monarch's chambers. The most popular room is the throne room. Logically, everyone who hears the name of the room imagines a throne, but it's not really here. Instead of it, there are two large armchairs on which are the initials of Elizabeth and her husband Philip. Here, the monarchs sit when receiving official greetings or participating in photo sessions. Guests also have the opportunity to see Kate Middleton's wedding dress as a part of the tour, and in the guard room, admire the tapestries and sculptures of the 19th century. The White Room is lined with white and gold silk. There are antique exhibits here, and there is also a small secret door used by Elizabeth herself. The Queen's Gallery is the longest room. Its dimensions are the size of 2 tennis courts. Exhibitions of the monarch's personal collections are shown here. On the white marble mantels are bas-reliefs of famous painters, including Titian, Leonardo da Vinci, Van Dyck. The garden on the territory of Buckingham Palace deserves special attention. The garden spreads over 40 acres and has over 300 species of wildflowers, 150 different species of trees, 30 species of birds, and many varieties of butterflies. The grounds also have a lake with its own little island where Italian honeybees are kept. The ticket to the palace is not cheap. It costs £30 for adults and £16.5 for children. You can also experience the magic of the palace for free by witnessing the change of guards. In summer, it takes place daily at 11 AM and at other times of the year on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays at the same time. You can find a more detailed schedule on the British Army website. The palace guards in bright red uniforms and big black flowery hats are almost the first things you might imagine when you think of Buckingham Palace. The Guardsman of the Court Division conduct the ceremony in front of hundreds of spectators with distinctive firmness. From the outside, the action resembles a theatrical spectacle, thanks in particular to the musical brass band, which creates an even more solemn atmosphere. By the way, the first such high hats with a height of up to 46 centimeters first appeared among the British soldiers in the 19th century at the Battle of Waterloo. The need for such headwear was dictated by the fact that with it, the soldiers seemed higher and stronger. The hats of today's guardsmen are made of bear fur. Greenpeace was upset about this, but the English tradition was stronger, and besides, hats are passed on from one guard to another, and therefore there is no need to constantly make new ones. So the bears are in no danger of disappearing. As for the color chosen for the guards, there were two reasons for this. First, at the time the uniforms were created, red dye was one of the cheapest, so the royal family didn't spend much money on the guards' uniforms. Second, red is considered the most difficult color to distinguish at a distance according to military strategy. How is life at Buckingham Palace? In fact, it's a mystery that has not yet been fully revealed. As for staff life, for the most part they have nothing to complain about. The staff members have the right to use everything they need from medical services to the gym, and you do not have to go far away either, as medical offices are also available on the territory of the palace. The territory of the palace can be called a small town because in addition to medical office, there are other necessary institutions. A post office, cafe, even its own cinema, library and swimming pool. There is also a chapel. The staff periodically spend their time singing in the local choir. The queen herself lives in the northern part of the palace where the private apartments are located. When her husband Prince Philip was alive, they paid for the furnishing and maintenance of 9-room suite. The rooms included separate rooms for the queen and her husband. Elizabeth preferred to sleep with the windows open no matter what time of year it was. While the palace is an important place for the queen's family, it's not her private property. The palace is held in trust by the Crown Estate. By the way, in the Netflix series The Crown, there are quite a few scenes in the palace building. However, the series was never filmed in the palace itself. Scenes have been filmed in buildings such as Lancaster House, Ely Cathedral and Alton Palace. In my next episodes, I will tell you about the Scottish castle, which stands on an extinct volcano. We'll visit the town where Braveheart was filmed and go to Northern Ireland, the site where the Titanic was built. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss these episodes. And if you are interested in learning more about studying abroad and studying in the UK, go to the Smapse education channel. You'll find a link in the description of this video.